Are you writing a book? Are you just starting to write a book? I'm gonna start this week. I already have. And if you like, you can follow along on my book writing journey. Hello, hello, hello. I'm Autumn Bardot. Here you'll find writer tips, author tools, and hopefully even a little bit of inspiration. If you haven't already, I would love if you would click that subscribe button. It's on one of those sides. It helps feeds the YouTube algorithms and helps writers like yourself find me more easily. Okay, so I think I'd mentioned last week that I was going to start writing a book. I hadn't. I was working on some other things the past 6 months. So finally, I've chosen the book I'm going to write. It's going to be the first in a series. And I thought, I'm going to share this with my YouTube followers, because I think sometimes it's just good to see what other writers go through and their processes. And so I'm going to be sharing it. I don't know if I'm going to be sharing every week because I have other content I'd like to bring you, but this is going to be the first in the Write a Book With Me series. And I just, you know what? I haven't even titled what this series is. If you have an idea, please drop a comment below, because I'm like, write a book with me. Watch what I write? No, that's not going to work. Join me on my writing journey? I don't know. If you can think of something catchy, please let me know. So what you're going to see is my step-by-step process of writing it's going to be a historical fiction series. I did begin this book about 6 months ago, and I wrote maybe 5 pages, just kind of dashed them off as the kind of opening scene came to me. I also dashed out maybe 2 pages of notes. So what I did, the first thing I did was I went back and I opened the Word document, because I use Word. That's what I use. I know it's old school, but I use Word, open the Word document, read it like, yeah, I still like this and I still want to write it. Kind of familiarized myself with what I wrote, because at this point I couldn't even remember like what the main character's name was. Also, my notes had a very, very general plot line. And I mean by general, I mean like, maybe 10 lines at the most. And so it was the opening scene, and then right after the opening scene on the same document were just some general notes. So as rough as you can get it. If it were a pot, it would be a lump of clay, but at least it's a lump. That's workable. Because I intend for this to be a 3-part series, I'm keeping in mind the bigger picture of everything. It's just like kind of sitting in my brain right there, kind of like on the back burner. Bigger series, it's going to need to be chewier, deeper, have more depth, have more characters. And also things like character arc. But at this point, my story, the plot, the conflicts, they're all pretty vague. I don't even have a POV at this point. I wrote one, it's in first person. I don't know at this point if I'm going to keep it. A lot of times I change if I'm going to write a POV in first or third. Usually maybe 20 pages in, I'll write some in third, some in first, whatever has the better feel for it. And once again, because I plan on it being a series, I feel like if I do it in third person, it gives me a little bit more leeway to explore some other characters, some other things that are going on beyond just what the character sees, hears, feels, and knows. It might just give me a broader brush to paint with. So all of this stuff is in my head, front and center. The characters, the conflict, the plot, all of these things. And I like to call them percolating. You know, that old-time coffee percolator that maybe your grandma has or your mom? I actually have 3. I know, right? It makes the best coffee. It really does. But the percolator just kind of sits there and percolates all that lovely, you know, the beans brew, and it's just delicious and aromatic. And so my brain right now is percolating. And that counts to me. Like, I count that as, Yes, I'm writing my head right now. It's all percolating. As I decide things, I open up the Word document, or I have like one of these and I just start writing it down. If I'm in the car and I don't have something really handy, even though I have a smaller version of these, like a really small version in my purse, I'll jot it onto my notes section really fast. So things I'm percolating: the characters, the conflict, the stakes. That's a biggie, and the conflicts. And once again, the stakes have to go from book to book to book. About the setting, I'm already familiar with this setting, very familiar with it. I already did lots of research for it for another of my novels, The Impaler's Wife. So I'm going to dig out the chart I have on setting and time period. It's the same setting. It's going to be the same general location and geography. So I'll dig that out and kind of transfer that onto a new kind of setting chart for this novel. I ordered 3 books from Amazon for research. I ordered those last weekend. The books came in about 3 days ago, and I am done 2 of them, working through the 3rd. What I'm doing with those books, and I know this is going to really horrify some of you, is I use a highlighter. And a pencil. So a highlighter and a pencil. And I mark those books up. They're my research books. I like them marked up. If I see something that I like that's particular, I highlight it. If it reminds me of something, I kind of scribble in the margins. And that's all I'm going to tell you until I do the next part. So at this point, I'm working through the books. And if there's a whole like big part, I just like kind of draw a little yellow line around the whole paragraph. At this point, I don't know what I'll need and what I don't need. I mean, I know a little bit. I have a good idea of what I'll need. So it's pretty easy to go through the books and figure out, yep, I think I might need this. Since I work full-time, I've allotted about a month of percolate and research writing time. And next week, if I have a chance, I will show you what I did with those research books and information and what I'm going to do with them. Because if you've watched me before, you know I'm pretty systematic. I teach high school English, and that means, you know, how to write a research paper. So to me, the less work I have to do, the easier my things are organized, the easier and faster I get to do what I really love to do, which is actually create that story, write those characters, you know, create my world. Honestly, I have about 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and maybe not even Friday, because Friday I'm pretty tired from work. So Monday through Thursday, I have maybe 2 hours of good brain power to read. I also try to read during my lunch at work and do the outlining. When I get home, yeah, maybe two hours before I have to do other things like dinner and clean up and walk the dog, talk to my husband. He still likes when I talk to him. I don't know. So that's it. Super short video today. You're going to join me on my writing journey, my writing process. That's what I've been getting done this week. I've got my little book here. It's my rocket book, but I also put notes on my phone, and I'm really eager to get going. And as I'm actually doing the researching, those 3 research books that are pretty much all on the same topic, I am getting so many amazing ideas. The ideas are just coming at me. So I'm really excited about that. And the conflict, the character arc, the stakes, they're emerging, they're percolating. So hopefully by the end of next week, I'll have a brood plot line and character arc. Thanks for joining. And as always, writers, dream, create, and embrace. Bye-bye.